Please let me know, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible and slides are also visible, ma'am.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our first class of Advanced Database Management System. Okay, now before going ahead, if you have any doubt, then we can take your doubt first. Any doubts, please? Okay. Okay, you have no doubt. Out of those of you who have raised your hand, Ajay has raised the hand. Okay. Yes, Ajay, you have a mic with you. You can unmute yourself and speak up. Ajay, you have a mic with you. Okay. So no doubt. Fine. So I am again making him. Fine. So let us start with the session. Okay. Now as no, you are not audible. Okay. Now let us start. No, dear, I have given you a permission to speak up. That's why I have unmute you. Yes, Pratik, you have a mic with you. You can unmute yourself first and then speak up.
What is mean
What
by
is
an
mean by an
organization of
organization
data?
of data?
Organization of data is actually a database. When you organize, for example, if you have some clothes, fine, then you arrange your clothes in your cupboard according to your use, that these will be mostly used, then you put them in the upper layer, other one. So what you are doing, actually you are organizing. And why you are organizing? Because whenever you need it, then it is very easy for you to access those. So that is the organization of the data, organizing the data in some particular manner.
And normalization?
Normalization means because there are some of the redundancy. Suppose I want to insert the data into the table, but there are some constraints in the table due to which I was not allowed to enter the data. For example, I will give you
Okay.
one example. Suppose there is a newly joined professor. Okay,
Yeah.
so newly joined professor on the very first day, it is not, he or she is not allotted any course. After 1 month of orientation, generally the course will be allotted to the professor. Okay, so in that case, your database table says a course professor must have a course allocated to her. So until the course will not be allocated to him or her, he will not allowed to be saved into a table. So this is a anomaly. Anomaly means some type of a defect in a table. So to remove this
Okay.
defect, we have to go for a normalization process. We divide the table into multiple table so that we don't face these types of a issue during insertion. This is just one example, and also we can have the deletion anomaly as well. Okay, we can have the insertion anomaly as well. So these types of anomaly, it is not easy, that doesn't allow data to be deleted or inserted. To remove all these defects, we have to go for normalization.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
got it, ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, Now, another. Okay, so let us start with the session. So those who have raised their hand, please down their hand so that we can again allow you to speak up during the Q&A session. Okay, so now we have to start with our unit number 1. Fine. So in your unit number one majorly focus over the different types of a database, and you will learn to compare different types of a databases. Okay. So that is we are going to learn in this particular unit, that is known as the comparison between different databases. Okay, so the main objective of this unit is to make you familiar what is a database, then discuss the application of the database, what are the advantages and disadvantages of different databases, comparison between a file-based system and comparison between whenever we are going for a relational database system. So in this unit, we are going to learn about the comparison between the different databases. Okay, now first of all, we have to learn about the what is data and what is information. Okay, so first thing, now what do you mean by database? Whenever you are learning about, when you are going to learn about the basic concept, that is DBMS, and when you learn about the advanced concepts, that is ADBMS. Okay, if you are in a BCA, we teach you a DBMS, and if you are in MCA, then for the master's level, all the things are those that are in the BCA syllabus, but they are with the more detailed version. So that is ADBMS, Advanced Database Management System. Okay, so now what is data? Actually, a data is nothing. For example, a date. Date is a data itself. Okay, now when that data become information, if I associate that on this date, Rahul has a birthday, fine, then that is said to be information. So now how you make your data in, how you convert your data into information. Okay, generally what we do, we process our data and then we convert the data into information. Fine, so I have a date, I associate a birthday to some person, then that become information. Okay, so this is the major difference between a raw data and a information. In general, when data is processed to achieve something, to achieve some knowledge, then that is said to be information. Okay, so data is simple. Fine. So data can be defined as a representation of fact, concepts, concept instructions, anything. Any data that is a raw data is said to be a data. And information is the pre-processed data, and that is, I can say that it is organized or classified data which has some meaningful value for the receiver. If I told you a date, it is simply a date, but when I have associated a name with it, that it is a birthday of this person, then it becomes meaningful for you. Okay, I have attached some meaningful value to it, then it becomes information. Okay, now for the decision to be meaningful, the processed data must qualify for the following characteristics. Now what I'm saying that when we are, I had told you that when data is processed, then it become information. So that information should be available timely. Okay, then it must be accurate. I am not attaching a wrong person birth date with this particular date. It should be accurate and it should be complete in all respect. Okay, so whenever we are converting the data into information, then that should be timely available, it should be accurate, and it should be complete. Okay, now next thing, what is a database? Now data and base, there are two things, data and base. So database is nothing but it is an organized collection of data that we stored, that we are storing it somewhere. Okay, now organized collection. Organized collection means it is not that randomly it is put that you put data something here. Organized means either you maintain it in a form of a table. Okay, so that becomes the organized when you give a particular format that we are going to we are going to store this data like this. Whenever I'm giving some format, and in that particular format you are maintaining the data, then that data is said to be organized collection. Okay, so database is nothing but it is an organized collection of the data, and that data stored electronically. Okay, for example, now what are the various application? Nowadays you people can do online banking. Okay, so your data is somewhere stored. Okay, that's why you are able to access it over the internet. So your data is, you can have access the data electronically, not physically you are accessing the data, you are accessing the data electronically. Okay, like your airline reservation, your railway reservation. So all these are the application of databases, like in an online retailer shop, order tracking, customized recommendations. So all of these are what? These all are the your applications of the database, where database is used. Okay, fine. So now what is, now for example, there is a store. There is a huge big store. In that store, there is a manager. Now, what is the responsibility of a manager? Tell me, what is the responsibility of a manager? Manager responsibility is to manage the things, to manage the each and everything, to allocate a person that you will responsible for this, you will responsible for this, you will responsible for this, and then monitoring. Okay, so in a same way, your database has a manager, and that manager is known as a database management system. Okay, database is one thing and database management system is another thing. It is a software, or I can say that it is a program. Okay, so whenever I have one single instruction, it is said to be instruction. When I make a collection of related instruction, then it will become a program. When I collect the related program together, it will become a package. When I collect the related package together, then it will become a software. Okay, so whenever DBMS is nothing but it is a software that allow the user, that whose responsibility is to create a data and to maintain the data. Okay, so in short, DBMS is nothing. DBMS is a manager of database. Okay, it is a wholesale responsibility to create a database, to manipulate the database, to update the database. These all are the functionalities of a DBMS. Okay, so it is a software, okay, that facilitate the process of defining, constructing, manipulating, and share the database among the various users and application of that database. Okay, so first responsibility is defining a database. Second one is constructing the database. Third one is the manipulating, and fourth one is the sharing. Okay, for example, I have to create 10 tables. So 10 table, if they are related 10 table, then I will create a database. And in that database, I have individual how many tables? 10 tables. Okay, so first of all, I will define that what in those table, how my data will be stored. Like name will be of character type, salary will be of float type. Float means real number. Okay, date is there, date is of date time. Okay, because whenever I have to store a data, then it must have various data types associated with it. Okay, what will be the structure of format in which I will store the data. So this responsibility comes under the defining a database. Second one is the constructing the database. Okay, so constructing the database means the process when I start gathering the data in a particular given format. It means I am constructing my database. Third one is the manipulating. Suppose I have constructed the database, then I want to change some values. Okay, or I want to delete something, or I want to add to the already existing. So that this comes under the manipulation. And last thing is the sharing. Sharing those users who need that database to share among them is also a responsibility of DBMS. Okay, now the popular DBMS are MySQL, Oracle, SQL, also MS Access is also one of that. Okay, fine. Now, what is the significance of a database? Why we are maintaining a data in a database? We are storing the data in a file system. How we are storing our data? Generally, when we store our data, we store a data in a file. Then why to go for a database? That is the main purpose. Okay, so what is the significance? What it provides the benefit to us? Okay, the first point, it reduces the redundancy. Redundancy means duplicacy of a data. Same data is available at 10 places. So it is occupying space also. Okay, your data is redundant. Why to maintain it in the 10 places? Suppose I want to delete it. I have to delete it from 10 places. So again, it is a headache for me. Okay, so if you save the data under the database, it will reduce your redundancy. Okay, duplicate data will not be stored in a database because during normalization, it will solve the problem of a redundancy. Okay, second thing, security. Like whenever we are using a database, data that is stored in a database, then we can give the permissions to the users that you can only view the tables. Okay, I can give permission to the person that only you can update the tables. I can give the permission that you can delete the data. Okay, so what is this? These all are the security. Okay, I can give passwords if you want to use password, that password based protection. Okay, if you enter the correct credential, then only you can access the data. Okay, so that is the security can be imposed in case of a database. That is not possible in case of a file system. Now, providing permission for multiple user interfaces. Okay, so multiple user, for example, we people have 5 different softwares. Okay, like multiple user interface. For example, at the same time, many peoples are using the ATM machine, but overall they have, it means they are using, multiple users are working at the same time using different interfaces, and they are doing the concurrent parallel execution. So it can also provide for multiple user interfaces. At the same time, multiple user can have the access to the data. It will maintain the integrity of the data. Also, backup and recovery is also maintained by the database management system. Okay, standard means some benchmark practices are there, that these are the rules for the standard databases. So here we also have the standards are also maintained under the database. Okay, so it will provide a constant storage for the objects of the database, and application development time decreases. Why? Suppose I'm designing a software and I want to access some data. So I do not need to worry about how to store the data. I just have to focus on how to design my interface. Okay, so application time also got reduced. Fine. I request to all of you, please pay attention to your what I'm teaching to you instead of wasting your time in your chats. You people are available on your WhatsApp group or any other thing. Please have chat over that platform. This is only for the academic related query between you and me. So I request all of you, please don't go for the chats that are not relevant to what I'm teaching you. Okay. Now, next thing is the database environment. Okay, like you people can see here, this is the top layer, that is the end user. As a user, like you have to work over some, you are sitting on your laptop. So this layer is your layer. You people will sit here. Okay, you suppose you are viewing some website like Amazon or Flipkart. Okay, so now you will order your, you will choose from the database, you will choose your items and you will order your item. Okay, so at this layer, this is the application program which you are using. Fine. Now your request will go to the database management system. That is the database control system, and DB descriptions are available. And at this layer, the DBMS will fetch the data actually from where it is stored at the disk. Parallelly, it is also to maintain the data and to store the data. It is the major responsibility of database administrator. So parallelly, we have okay, so parallelly we have DB. So database environment is a collection. So if you ask me, I can divide it into three layers. This one is the logical layer, top two program, top two layer will constitute your logical layer, and the bottom two will constitute your physical layer. Okay, physical means actually where the data is stored. Fine, now sitting on a computer and using some, like sitting on a computer and opening a IRCTC website and then booking the ticket. But actually the ticket was booked, actually one seat got decreased in the file system where actually the data is stored. So you are sitting on a laptop, you are using IRCTC platform that is said to be an application program, and using that or using the interface of your application program, you are making changes into the database. So, and DBMS is the manager who is responsible at the middle layer, and actually whenever your ticket successfully got in the actual database, the seat of available seat will reduced by one. So this is how actually the database environment is. So I can say that it is constitutes of software, hardware, people and techniques of handling the database and data. Okay, now we have the different types of a databases. Okay, now personal databases. Now, personal databases generally, like I'm using my laptop. Okay, so my laptop is a database for me. This is a personal database. Okay, like your wherever you are maintaining your daily need data, that is on your laptop, on your computers, on your PDAs, on your smartphones. Okay, so these are your personal databases, and these are generally a small scale databases. Okay, small scale means because their size is small. Fine, that's why these are small scale databases. Now, second one is the two-tier databases. Why it is named as two-tier? Now, you can see here in the diagram also at the user level and the second level. So, how many tiers, if I take one level as one tier, how many tiers are there? There are two tiers. Okay, so in this type of a system, actually it is a client and the server system. So user is a client and the other machine is a server. Client responsibility is to request the data, and server responsibility, whatever I am requesting, then in turn he has to give that data. So client will request the data and server will fulfill the request of the client data, and when it is fulfilling the request of the client data, it is said to be giving response to the client. So client is responsible for making the request, and server machine is responsible for giving response to the client request. Okay, so generally here these are the client and server type of a data. So here both are linked using some wireless LAN or some wired LAN, like using the Ethernet LAN or any other connection they can be connected. Okay, and in this they have a permission to share the data, and they are sharing the data in a client server model. Okay. You can say that the DB is managed by the small scale organization. Okay. means in which those who are requesting and those who are giving the response to the request, if they have connection using some wired LAN or wireless LAN, then that is a two-tier databases. Okay, but if you are accessing it electronically over internet, then that is not two-tier databases. Okay. Cloud storage is a totally different concept. There is also we are maintaining a database. Okay, fine. So here you can see the computer can be linked with each other using a wired LAN. It means they are in one organization. Personal use one computer. Suppose there is a lab. Fine. In a lab, whenever you have a 10 or 12 computer and they are connected using either using the wires, and whenever you are sharing the data over those, then that is said to be two-tier databases. Okay. Now the next is the your multi-tier databases. Multi-tier databases, now it comes under a very large work group. As I give you an example of lab. Lab is very small thing. In a one single room, there are 10 or 12 computers are there. Okay. So over that 10, 12 computers are connected. That is two-tier. Fine. Now we have the next tier, that is a multi-tier databases. Okay, so it is used for assisting a large work group consisting of 100 individuals. Now, if I talk you about our whole university, okay, so multiple places there are, suppose 10 labs are there. Fine, and you are accessing the data from all over the university, then that come under the multiple databases. Okay, why? Because you have connected. So here the connection will become larger. Fine, so it is used whenever within a very large work group. Work group means it is a bounded network. Fine, so in a bounded network, whenever you are accessing the data using some interface, then that is said to be multi-tier databases, or I can sometime it is also called as three-tier databases. Now, why it is three-tier databases? You can see here. The users or the clients are your computers or your desktops. Fine. You, whenever the client gives some request, it will go to some server. Okay, and from that server is fetching the data from the database. So how many layers are there? There are three layers. Top layer is the client layer, middle layer is the application server layer, and server is also fetching the data further from some hard disk or some other storage devices. Then that is the third layer. Okay, so in that case it is said to be multi-tier databases. Actually it is a in diagram it is three-tier databases. Okay, so these are your example of your multi-tier databases. Fine, now we can also go for the enterprise application. Enterprise application, for example, your ERP. Okay, your in case of your data warehousing development, it is at the enterprise level. So this is according to the use of the data. Okay. Fine. So now if you go for the types of the databases, so personal user is single, typical number of users are one. In two tiers, there are near about 5 to 100 users. In three tiers, we have 100 to 1,000 users. In ERP, we may have up to 10,000 users. Okay, but it should be greater than 100, and their size of the database will got increased. Like in your ERP, the size will be maybe in terabytes. In your data warehousing, size may be in the petabytes. So these are the database summary according to the number of users, how many number of users are involved in that. So according to that, the use of the databases. Okay. Now, next is also the classification of the databases, but that classification will totally depends on the I can define it on the basis of the user, like single user, multiple user. I can define it on the basis of the sites where the data is stored. Okay, so centralized, parallel, and network. Fine. I can also define it on the basis of how it is storing the data. If it is done on the basis of storage of the data, then it can be of hierarchical, network, relational, object relational, and object model. On the basis of cost, I can also classify it low cost, medium cost, and high cost. On the basis of purpose also, I can define my databases, that general purpose or a special purpose. Fine. So all these are the classification of the databases, but these are classification on the different basis. Okay. Fine. So here now first is the hierarchical data model on the basis of, now first I'm taking you to the on the basis of the data model. Data model means how we are storing the data. Okay. Now first thing, hierarchical. Now can you tell me what is the meaning of hierarchy in layman language? Tell me what is the hierarchy. Hierarchy, yes, it is order, tree. Yes, very good answers. So whenever you are making, yes, like manager, these all are the, no, we cannot say it priority. Hierarchy means some following some structures. Okay, like that is, Abhilash has given example, boss, manager, and employee. Okay, so it is a hierarchy. So whenever you are maintaining a data in a hierarchical manner, hierarchy, why there is a hierarchy of boss, manager, employee? Because it is a relationship. Fine. So in it has some relationship. That's why they are connected in a hierarchy. Okay, so like the child, parent, and a grandparent, they also have a relationship. So whenever we have this type of a relationship, that can be a child parent relationship. Okay, it is organized in a tree like structure. Tree, if you ask me what is a tree, if in actual world, actual tree, if you invert that tree, then the roots will be upside and the leaves will be on the downside, then actually that is a tree. Okay, in computer term, that is said to an inverted original tree is a tree in computer. Okay, it has some relationship. Fine. So if your data has some relationship and you are maintaining it using some hierarchy, you are storing your data according to the hierarchy, then that data model is called as a hierarchical data model. Okay, like you have a sales representative. Under sales representative, I am maintaining the customer contact numbers. Now, actually, this is the 2317 product line 1, 2319 product line 2, 231 line. So all these are what? These all are your roots. Fine. So whenever you are maintaining your data in some hierarchy, you are saving the hierarchy, you are storing your data as per the hierarchy, then that is said to be a hierarchical databases. So in a hierarchical databases, the data or the records will be stored in a tree-like structure, or you can say in a parent-child relationship form, they will store their data. Now you will ask me, what is a record? Nobody has asked what is a record. Okay, now I will give you simple example. 2317, it is suppose a customer number and it is or some product number and the name is product line 1. Now product number and product line, they are raw data. Individual raw data. Your product number is individual raw data and product name is individual raw data. Why I have put them together? Tell me why I have put them together. Because they have a related relation with them. So individual field, when I collect together the two data that are logically related with each other, then it will make a record. When I collect the logically related records and I make it into a single, okay, like if I collect here 2317 product line 1, this is one record. Why? It is logic 2317 and product line 1 is logically related. That's why I have collected them together in a single record. Now, like in my class, one student has name, course allotted and roll number. But why you all are in my class now? You all, or when I collect all of the information, a single student is said to be a record. Okay, so logically related data, if I collect the logically related data, then it will called as record. And when I collect the logically related records together, then it will said to be a file. Okay, so in my class, you people are logically related. Each and every student is logically related with the other student. Okay, so that's why you all are collected together here in this particular session. Okay, so that is the difference between a record and when record is nothing, logically related fields are collected together and logically related records are collected together, then it is said to be a file. Fine. So here the data will be stored in some hierarchical manner. Why? Because it is easy to understand that the hierarchical databases has a relationship of a parent-child relationship among them, and it is easy to store in this particular model. So what are the advantages? It is simple to use. It is secure. It maintains the database integrity, and it is very efficient to handle the relationship. Okay, now what are the disadvantages? Disadvantages is the complexity to maintain the relationship. First thing. Okay, so also it is very difficult to manage. Suppose I want to insert one more in between the sales representative and customer contact. I want to insert another layer. So I have to disturb the whole database. Okay, so that is the very it is very troublesome in management. Okay, also whenever it is comes to the programming level, because database is always used by some application program. Okay, so it is to fetch the data from a hierarchical database, it is very tough from the point of view of application development. And the last and the most prominent drawback is the portability. Portability means you can switch your data from one machine to the another machine without affecting anything. Then that data is said to be data is portable. But generally when because it is so much rigid in its structure that it is not easy to port it to some another physical storage devices. That's why it has a very bad portability. No, e-commerce websites, they do not use it. As generally in the early 90s, the model hierarchical data model were used. Nowadays, nobody is using the hierarchical database. These all are the early models. Okay, from when the database term starts, these are the models of that time. Only some specific applications, those who need to store the prominently who want to store the relationship. So they are specific application program, those currently who are using. Otherwise, the hierarchical database are not much used at the current time. As I told you, that suppose a company requirement is that he just want to store the relationship type a data which has a very complex relationship in between them, then in that case they specifically use this type of a model. Otherwise, instead of giving advantages, these data models have much more drawbacks with them, so that is not feasible for a company to pay amount to maintain these type of databases. Okay. uh I will answer you in just why you are learning on the very first day. Shall I take you to the very higher concept, or you have to start with the basic? It is not the case that everyone know about what is a database. When I'm telling you the definition of a database, then nobody says me, ma'am, this is, everybody know that what is a database. So why you are teaching us? So base has, your syllabus is designed as per the level. In the first level, you have some basics. In the second level, you have more advanced version. Okay, so at least you have to get familiar with the terminology in your databases. So that's why I am teaching you all these things. Okay, and it is also not the case that in a class of 200 student, everybody know that what is a database, because I have to consider each and every student that doesn't belong to some IT background. Okay, that's why I'm teaching you each and every minute detail, that what is a record, what is a information. Otherwise, if I take you all a very intelligent one, then just I will go to start from unit number 3, and don't tell me that, ma'am, what you are teaching. Everybody, everything is going from our head. Okay. So that is the main reason that I'm taking it to your very basic level. Otherwise, I can just tell you that the database which is maintaining a hierarchy. No need to tell you about a hierarchy. Okay, so you have to bear with the content. Okay, those who know the basics, please pay attention to that. Those who doesn't know the basic, they can well understand. So I have just prepared the session according to that, in my class, everybody is a fresher. Model is nothing. Model is a way to store a data. That's why it is said to be a model. Okay, you have asked that this model, if this model is used, data will always be the same. Okay, so that is the main problem with this type of a databases, na, that it is very tough to maintain this type of a data. So this is a major point, that it doesn't provide so much of advantages. One can maintain the data at one level, but because data is a continuous task, so when you want to update it, when you want to change it, so it becomes very tough for it. Okay, tough for the organization to maintain the database. That's why these are not much used. But still, those companies or those as the persons who need this particular data to manage the hierarchy, those, suppose my requirement is suit by this particular databases, I'm working on such type of application, then definitely I can use the hierarchical databases. Okay, because it's my specific requirement, not the general requirement. My data is of that type that it suits with the properties of a hierarchical data model, then definitely I will use that data model. But if you ask me in general, then this is an obsolete data model. Just give me some 5 minutes. I have to put my laptop on charging. Okay. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Fine. Now, next of a data model. Data model means different way of organizing a data. So they all are different in organizing how they are maintaining the data. That is a network data model. So it will be in this particular model, the data is organized like a cobweb. Okay, cobweb means in parent-child relationship, there is a single relationship from parent to child. Whenever your data has multiple relationship, because it has the drawback that it is maintaining only single relationship. But whenever your data has multiple relationship, okay, so it is also following a parent-child relationship, but in this, the relationship can be very complex. Okay, so that model is said to be a network data model, as the name indicate network. Network means network in actually what is a network? Network is nothing the collection of whenever you a collection of various terminals together, when they connect together, then that is said to be a network. So it is also the enhancement of the hierarchical data model, but it can support many relationship, like one to many, many to one. So all these relationship can be satisfied in this particular model. Okay, so in the terminology is change here. Parents are called the owners and child are called the members. Okay, so in this, in the hierarchical data model, we have a single parent. Okay, in this, one child can have more than one parent, or we can say that we can have more than one owner. Okay, like you can see here that a particular node, that is the address node, is coming from the human resource also and the management group also. So it has the two parent. I can say you that it has two parent, human resource and management group. Okay, so it is an enhanced version of your hierarchical data model, and it can store the complex relationship, that many to one or one to many. So it can store that type of a relationship also. The main advantages of this model is it is simple, okay, flexible. Standards are there in this more standardized form than that of a hierarchical. Okay, but again the problem is the that structural reliance is there, no specific structure how the data is maintained. Data is maintained by the nodes of the connection nodes. Fine, it is complicated, and actually it is very easy to see this type of a relationship, but when you convert this data in electronically, then it is difficult to manage the relationship like this. Okay, so again the problem is that it is that it is difficult to manage. These type of a database are difficult to manage. Okay, yes, you are right. In hierarchy, parent child root is there, but in the another databases, okay, like this in like in the previous one, you can see here there is a node from upside to downside, from sales to customer, but you cannot take a node from customer to sale. A back node is not possible. Okay, and also they have a single parent, like customer one have single parent, sales representative. Okay, they can, it is not possible to have multiple parent. Okay, so it is not possible to have the multiple parent here in this database. Okay, but in the next database, you can see here multiple parents are possible. As I give you an example, simple name, address, and telephone. This is one node, and it's now upward arrow is from human resource and management group. So two parents are there and generating one single node. Okay, so that is said to be the that it can maintain complex relationship, but they cannot. In the previous one, it can maintain only from parent to child. Okay, and also multiple parents are also not allowed in this hierarchical data model. But in this, multiple parents are also possible. Structural reliance means how to store the data, what the format should be to store the data. So that is a main drawback of this model, that there is no structure, that how will you store a data. Very poor structured data will be there. So that is a structured reliance. Okay. Now, the problem of your hierarchical and network data model will be totally covered by the relational data model. Okay, so relational data model, in both of the previous table, we are maintaining the data in either in the nodes form and then maintaining them using a hierarchy or maintaining them using a network. Fine. So they both have a drawback. So that's why the new concept comes that will cover up the disadvantages of the both previous databases, and that is a relational database model. Relational means it is maintaining the data in tabular form. Relation, it comes from relation. Relation is nothing. Relation is a table. Okay, now you can say this first name, last name, social security number. So this is relation. One relation is there. So whenever you are organizing the data in form of a table, then that is said to be the relational data model. Just hold on for a minute, please. The data is managed in form of a tables here. Okay, so tables are called relations, and one row is said to be a tuple and one column is referred to be an attribute. Why it is an attribute? Attribute, for example, first name. So if you define a student, so student attribute is first name, last name, roll number. So column is said to be attribute and row is said to be tuple. Okay, so each tuple has a key attribute. For example, every student has a roll number and that roll number is unique. So how I am identifying the row? Row is identified by its unique attribute, and that unique attribute is said to be a primary key. Okay, so that is a relational data model. So it will cover up the disadvantages of the both of the previous model, and it is highly popular model. Okay, so it is simple to use, it is flexible. Okay, so it also follow the mathematical theory also. Fine, and it is very good in relationship handling. Fine, but the drawback is that hardware, to store the data we need a hardware, so hardware is expensive. Okay, fine. So these are this is the most best suitable model. Nowadays also it is very popular model, but nowadays the trend of the concept of the trend of the data got changed. Now we have the uh, we have the unstructured data also. Unstructured data means we have to want to store the video, audio, paragraphs. Okay, so still this model also support the non-structured data also, but that has to be converted into some structure. It why? Because whenever you are maintaining the data using some table, then table follow some structure. Okay, so table follows some structure and you have to convert your data into structure. For example, if there is a line that suppose if I said Rahul is studying in MCA first semester having roll number 15 and he has marks 73% is his SAM 1. So this is a paragraph. Now somebody needs to convert it into table. How it will be converted? Name is Rahul. Class is MCA third SAM. Percentage is 73%. So why? Because I have to store the data into table. So I need to convert the paragraph into table. Why? Because when I told you about a paragraph, it is totally unstructured. But relational data model can store only the structured data. Okay. Fine. So now next is the object relational data model. Object relational data model. Object is nothing. It is just the enhanced version of the previous version, that is a relational data model. So in this, a relation is will be a table will be considered as an object. Like car. Car is an object. Car has features. Features means car color, car model. Okay. So so a table will be considered as an object, and when it is considered as an object, then the state and behavior is associated with the object. Okay, so whenever the data is stored in form of an object, then that will become, and it is also so giving you the benefit of relational plus object model, then that is said to be object relational data model. Okay, so it is easy, flexible, reusability is much more than the managing relationship is very good. Okay, also you are store the abstraction features is also supported by object relational data model. But on the other hand, it is complicated to implement and also it is costly. Fine. Now, next one is the object oriented. The model, as I told you, that it is totally different from relational. Previous one is a combination of relational plus object. Now, if I put only object one, so everything will be treated as an object and there is a relationship between the objects. Object is the single unit of data to store, then that is said to be object oriented data model. uh, Database that supports the feature of object oriented programming, that for example your C++, your Java, fine, your Python, these all are based on the object oriented paradigm. Okay, so if I apply that object oriented paradigm in case of a database, then that database is said to be object oriented database. So these type of a database are very good in handling the relationship and they are better in comparison to the other model. But in comparison to the relational model, I will go for the relational one. Okay, so they provide you each and everything is maintained like an object. Fine. So it is very good, easy to use, but still it is complex. And main problem is that interportability, because whenever you are working with the object oriented, then it is very difficult to port it on the another machine. Okay, and also the when you query the data, then whatever the accuracy of your relational database, it doesn't meet the accuracy standard also in comparison to the relational databases. Actually, if you ask me that which database is very best, okay, in a single word, I will say you relational data model is one of the best model. Okay, but nowadays, because technology is evolving, so object-oriented database and object relational database are due to the change of the technology, due to new technology. Okay, but with these, the complexities are also there. Okay, non-relational database is comes under your data mining or data warehousing, you can say. It doesn't come under your structured data. So non-relational database means non-structured data. So there you can use the data mining techniques and the other things. Okay, generally the companies also prefer the relational databases. But these all depends on the your on the application, which application. Suppose my data is different, and according to my data, object oriented database are much more suitable, then I will go for that. So according to the application, you can choose the best one. Okay, they all have different properties, different types of a data can be managed. Fine. So that is the main advantages. Okay. Harish, about what you are asking me, that why? Okay. Now, next is the types of DBMS, number of user. Single user means only a single client at a particular time, means as a teacher, if I'm answering you only one by one basis, then it is a single client. Multi client means at the same time, if I'm giving answers to 10 students, then it is multi user. Single user means who can request only a single user at a time. Multi user who can give request to multiple user at a same time. Okay. Then on the basis of the website, centralized. For example, I can give you the best example. Your banking websites are your centralized database system. Okay, that the database is stored as a single site and it is used by several other systems. You go to your LMS, it is available there. Okay. So in case of a centralized server, data is maintained over a centralized server. Whenever I'm talking about the parallel databases, it may be possible that data is divided into three parts and it is stored on different machine in case of a parallel. Or it is also possible that I'm storing a same database at three different machines. Okay, then if according to your location, suppose site 2 is near to your location, then you can access the data from location 2. If for me this data is on the location 1 is just near to me, it is giving me very less access time, so I will fetch the data from location 1. So that is the concept of parallel databases. Okay, so whenever we have a larger databases, then I will store the data on multiple machines, and I can replicate the data on the multiple machines, or I can divide the data and then store them on the multiple machines. Okay, then generally we have a distributed databases. That data is distributed over the several websites. Okay, if they all follow, they all the softwares they are using at the every site, then it is homogeneous databases. And if every site is using a different software, then that is homogeneous databases. Heterogeneous and homogeneous. Suppose we have I have 5 terminals and all terminals are using MySQL. Okay, so it means they are homogeneous. But if one using MySQL, another one is using Oracle, third one is using DB2, fourth one is using MongoDB, then that is your heterogeneous DBMS. Okay. So these are on the basis of cost. Low cost can be the cost of maintaining and storing data. If it comes from $100 to $3,000, then it is low cost. Medium cost is from 10,000 to 1 lakh, and above that is a very high cost databases. Then your journal purpose databases. Journal purpose means they meet the needs of many applications. And special purpose, for example, your airline booking system. Okay, your railway reservation booking system. It is special purpose. They are not general purpose. Special purpose means that is for specific application. Okay, like ATM. From ATM, you can only withdraw money. Okay, so that is your special purpose machine. Journal purpose machine that can be used for many other work also. Then that will become journal purpose. So databases are also journal purpose, that they can give services to different types of application, and special purpose who can handle only one type of application. That is your special purpose. Okay, so this is a comparison between the centralized and the distributed. You just go through it. Fine. This is quite simple. Centralized means data is put at one single site. Distributed means data is divided into multiple sites. Okay, so you people can just go through it. Fine. If I summarized, what do you understand? What is a database? Why we need it? And we learn about the different types of a databases. Okay. Now, can you answer these questions? There's a quiz time. Kavya Shri, one example is the simple one is special purpose is your online banking system is your special purpose. Okay, you can serve only the money related transaction using that application. Okay, and journal purpose, I can give you example of journal purpose databases like you are maintaining special purpose comes under your library management system comes under your special purpose. Okay. So answer, please give me the answer of one. For sharing data among clients, the most frequent way is creation of two-tier client server databases. True or false? Okay. So answer one is very true. Most of you have given the correct answers. So it is true. Now give me the answer of question 2. In a dash schema, we organize data into structure which appears as a tree. So we have a lot of discussion over this topic. Tell me. Yes, it is hierarchical. In relational databases, rows are called dash and columns are called. Yes, I have told you. In a relational databases, row are said to be tuple and columns are called as attribute. Okay, now what is the answer of fourth question? In case of a distributed databases, okay, data is handled by numerous server. Tell me, data is handled by numerous various servers. I have given you examples also, and those are example of using different servers. Yes, it is true. Okay, so hope in dash tables are called as relation. In which type of a data model? Database tables are called as relation. In which data model? Relational data model. Okay, so answer is in relational databases, tables are called as relation. Okay, so now I think you hope you all have cleared about these things. Fine.
Ma'am, can I launch the polls?
Yes, all of you, we are going to launch the 3 polls. So please one by one answers the polls. Ashish, you will not get these PPTs if you go to your SLM, self-learning material in your LMS. There you have a detailed description of all what I have discussed today. So doubts, please. Any doubts? Your exam will be in October or your exam will be in November or December. Yes, we are going to work with SQL, structured query language. What actually makes your database expensive? Amount of data. Amount of data. If you have heard about the IBM information management system, okay, these all are in that they are using the hierarchical data model. Okay, you have asked me about the no SQL. We are not going to learn the no SQL. Okay, you ask me about the example of your hierarchical data model, that where it is used. So initially when it comes to comes into in the role play, at that time either it is used by the IBM, and the examples of the software where they have used is Nomad. Okay, also the IBM information management system in the early era, they have used IIM, that is IMS, used by in those model they have used the hierarchical data model. Other examples also. The main is because it is generally IBM has used it, so no, I cannot give you some other specific example. Only the that IMS by IBM is using the hierarchical data model, or I can say you that the cement at that very time, either to maintain the social relationship or to maintain the political relationship, they are using the hierarchical data model. MySQL and SQL, you can think we are going to use MySQL, not MS SQL. MySQL. There we are going to learn about MySQL. Okay, Pratik, there is no much more, only some small syntactic differences there. Okay, so I don't think that you will find a major gap between Oracle and MySQL. Only the Oracle functionality is a very wider one, but only some syntactical changes will be there. Otherwise, it is same. The commonly used model, as I said you, the commonly used is the relational one, and at the second top level, it is the object-oriented databases. Yes, we are going to learn PL/SQL from the lab point of view, not from the theory point of view. Object, as I told you, object is just car. Car is an object. Okay, student is an object. It has attribute. And object has an attribute icons. Attribute means state, and object have state plus behavior. State plus behavior, for example, student is an object. Student have state means name, roll number, marks. Behavior means with the marks what I can calculate the result, so it is its behavior. So object is nothing. When I collect together the state and behavior, I collect together these two things, then it is said to be the object. You people are so much eager about your assignment. I really don't know why you want the assignment in the first session. I have just answered the question that exam will be conducted either in the November or in the December. Okay, and assignment, you will get your assignment after 3 weeks. At least 3 classes should happen, then you will get your assignment. Okay, and I told you one more thing. If you, apart from your academic query or whatever I am teaching you in the session, if you write anything extra in your chat now, from next time your chat will be disabled, and that will become a drawback for only for you only. Okay. Because if you write so many things now, it may be possible that I got disturbed that you are not allowing me to teach smoothly. Okay, so if I report this thing now, then next time what will happen? Your chat will be disabled, and for the last 5 minutes, we will enable your chat. So because only you people are prompting us to do like this. Okay, in my first session also, I have taken so much doubts regarding your math, and again I have a math question. Okay, so it's my humble request. All of you are grown up now. I can't say that you people are just 11th, 12th path student, because when we are proctoring in the examination, then I can easily see that you all are very grown up. Okay, it may be possible some of you are elder than me also. Okay, but there is some culture when we are in a teacher and student association. Okay, so you have to maintain the dignity. Okay, this when you are chatting, so I request all of you, please chat what is relevant to what currently I am teaching you. Otherwise, the drawback will be like this. If you write so much of things now, then the management may decide to block your chats. Only for the last 5 minutes, you people can be able to write. And this will be a very bad for you. Now, currently, you people are writing the question. Parallelly, I'm reading your questions and giving the answer to you, all of you. Okay, so this is because your first session. I know you people are very much excited about the session also. Okay, but don't make it a messy one. Okay, sometime it also happen that I may skip one or two question. Then we have a DB with us now. You just write your question on your DB. I will answer it there. Today I have extended my session by 20 minutes. Okay, but every time it is not possible, because you also have a next session that will start from 5:30. So 5:30 teacher will join at 5:15. So consecutively, I may have a session in a other class also at the same time. So every day I cannot extend my session up to 20 minutes. Yes, those who want to join the bridge course, they can join. Those who don't want to join, no need to join it. Okay, it is only for your self-study. If you are motivated to join that, you are most welcome. If you don't want to join that, don't join that. Okay, that is a totally, and also that is totally your choice. Don't confuse with the bridge course. It will not come in your mark sheet. Okay, you people can understand with its name, bridge course, those who are from non-mathematical background, because it is a my MCA involved some mathematics. In your MCA syllabus, some mathematics basic knowledge should be required in each and every subject. So to overcome that gap for all of the students, you can join that. Otherwise, that is not a compulsory one. It is totally your choice-based course. Okay. And also in my first session also, I asked with the concerned faculty, and he said me that it is a optional course, and those who are joining, it is mandatory for them to upload the assignment of that course. Okay, if you ask me, if you upload it, very good. If you don't upload it, don't upload it. Nothing would happen. Okay, so it is just a learning how to upload an assignment. Fine. So don't take your bridge course so much on you that you people got disturbed related to the bridge course. If you want submit the assignment, it's very good. Don't want to, don't submit. Okay, so that you can learn how to submit the assignment. It is compulsory from that point of view, so that when you are submitting your assignment for the core paper, you didn't make any mistake. Okay, it is compulsory. Fine. So those who are not joining, no, it will not come to your mark sheet, dear. Okay, so when it is clear cut one term, then why you people are confused? So much confused. Bridge course, bridge course. Okay. It is compulsory one. You people are, I think when you people are saying that we are won't submit, then it comes to me that that ADBMS ma'am says that it is not compulsory. I am not saying you that it is not compulsory. It is compulsory one. Okay. So I'm saying you that bridge course is not compulsory. Fine. It will not come into your mark sheet. Rest everything is compulsory. Okay. Fine. Have a nice day, all of you. Have a nice week and have a nice day. Bye bye, all of you.